Good morning, everybody. I would like to thank everybody who has recently subscribed, as well as the existing subscribers. Thank you for sticking around with me and just being able to enjoy these vlogs slash videos that I make. I would like to talk a little bit about commenting. I read all of your comments, good and bad. However, every time I try to comment on them, it gets a little difficult. Not because of the lack of time. I do like to answer a lot of the emails or a lot of the messages that I get. There are some times when I look at the notifications saying that, okay, so-and-so had commented on this video, but every time I try to go reply to it, it doesn't allow me to do it. The format on YouTube does not allow me to respond to certain messages for some reason. So if you do comment on the videos and I don't comment back, I'm not trying to be heartless or anything. It's just I can't respond. And most likely, if I can't do that, I would have to respond under a new thread. You would have to manually check back on the video to see if I made a comment, and it's just an extra step for you guys. But just realize that I do read all of your messages, and thank you for all the good and the bad messages. It helps me grow as a YouTuber, as a human being. Just your feedback, all in all, your feedback, and it helps me produce better videos. Helps me sift out all the my cruddy ways when it comes to editing. And granted, I'm still learning, still figuring stuff out. But right now, I'm headed to work. Supposedly, all this week is supposed to be raining, but right now we're experiencing beautiful sunlight. But as you guys know, that can change within minutes. What I'm using to film right now is a GoPro Hero 3 Plus, the black edition. When it comes to just plain vlogging, I don't necessarily have to see myself. It's much more convenient when it comes to vlogging. So for all the vloggers out there, it's so much more convenient carrying a really small camera that if you were to carry like a large, Canon camera, they would probably be questioning your motives. There is a few downsides, but it can be easily fixed. When it comes to camera, the lenses, the options. The GoPro's default feature would be wide angle, which in most cases it works. Whenever you're trying to get decent B-roll shots, you really have to get creative with it. But it works. In some instances, in some videos, I've used just nothing but GoPro, and it's worked wonders. You do have to get creative, you do have to imagine your shots, you have to plan accordingly, more so when it comes to using GoPro as opposed to using a camera that has like a viewfinder. Now it's starting to feel a little bit like California. I've been extremely busy this past week. A lot of situations just accumulated to this week, which made it, I have to drop off a few things over in Salem. A lot of the work has just been on the computer and helping out with arrangements. What is the point in this? Anyway, and right now I'm headed to Salem. I have to drop off a couple of things. And then after that, I gotta pick up beans and rice. Beans and Bryce. And we'll be headed to Ed Benedict Park. I used to live about 2 exits away from Ed Benedict Park, and that place is one of my favorite parks because it's built like a plaza, and that used to be my go-to spot because I used to live so close, and now that I'm way down south, I miss it. Now, if you haven't known by now, I am always in my head, always thinking. I mean, I could stop thinking. Believe it or not, I could stop thinking. 99.899% of the time, I'm always reflecting, always thinking. I'm either thinking, self-reflecting, self-analyzing. I came to this realization. I have enough words now in my vocabulary to be able to describe what I'm about to describe to you. However, I've had these experiences many times, especially in my childhood. And it's just now that I'm able to speak about it because I feel that I can. It's an existential question. It's not even a question, it's just a realization of the perceiver and the perceived. Imagine you're holding something in your hand, like an egg, or a quarter. You're holding it in your hand and you think to yourself, what do I feel in my hand right now? I feel a quarter, or I feel an egg in my hand. I feel an egg in my hand. Now, who is the I that is feeling the egg? Now, you're probably thinking, oh, I, Julius, is holding this egg that is in the hand. If you look at Julius, or if you look at you can be perceived. You have a body, you have a name, you have your likes, your dislikes, you have your preferences, you have, the clothes that you wear, all the things that you can see and imagine about who you think you are. If you, Julius, or whomever, if you can be perceived, who is the perceiver then? Can you not perceive yourself perceiving you holding the egg? It's like, think of it like the chicken and the egg. What came first, the chicken or the egg? If you can perceive who you are, then who is the perceiver that's perceiving who you are? And it just threw me for a loop because every time I experience this feeling, my mind just shuts up. It just like quiets. And then I'm left with emptiness. It's not even emptiness. It's like, it's something more I can't describe. It's just this. Anyway, so while I was editing this video, I felt that I had to just clarify a little bit, or go a little bit more in depth of what I'm talking about, so you guys can realize. Knowing this realization that you are not the perceived, this body that can perceive this egg, and you are not the perceiver that sees, that witnesses Julius, that witnesses the egg. So knowing that, what does that make the perceiver and the perceived? Knowing that it's not who you are. The perceiver and the perceived become an illusion. And what's left? If everything that is manifested in this world, if anything that arises as a form, whether it be thoughts, physical, mental, anything that arises here, it is not who you are. What is left? It's the space in which everything arises in. Even the way I'm explaining it is a misperception, because when I try to explain who I am or who you are, it is falsified as soon as it's made into thought or into words. Because it ultimately, you/I are unknowable. It cannot be spoken of because it is so sacred, it is so subtle. My mind is blown, man. Alrighty, back at Monmouth Park. Gonna be throwing down some tranny sessions real quick. So, shooting the outro the next day because I was way too lazy to do it yesterday. So in conclusion, if you guys like this video, please let me know by clicking that like button. If you guys have any video ideas for me to do, please leave it down in the comments section below. My voice is really low today. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Julius, and remember to slap that subscribe button for my future videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.